As we've reported on many times on this show over the past few weeks, Arab and Muslim voters are organizing a boycott campaign for the Democratic ticket this November. The Biden campaign thought it might be in their interest to try and patch things up with them, but they were told, thanks, but no thanks. Not welcome here. Arab leaders cancel Dearborn meeting with the Biden campaign manager. This from the Detroit News. The organizer of a planned meeting between President Joe Biden's campaign manager and a group of Arab and Muslim American leaders in Dearborn said it was canceled Friday after some in the wider community objected to the gathering amid fury over Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war. Some Arab American political leaders from Metro Detroit, who are Democrats, flatly rejected any overtures from the Biden campaign until the president advocates for Israel to cease its military assault on Gaza. Assad Turfi, I'm not sure how to say that name, who was coordinating the sit-down of Arab leaders and officials with Biden's campaign in Dearborn, said he made the decision to cancel Friday afternoon's group meeting, quote, in the best interest of the community. As the community got to learn about the meeting, there was definitely a lot of outrage, and ultimately the decision was made to cancel the meeting, said Turfi, the deputy county executive of Wayne County, whose family is from Lebanon. The meeting was to be between the Biden campaign manager, Julie Chavez Rodriguez, and 10 to 15 Arab American elected officials, office holders, and representatives from the larger community organizations, Turfi said. The Biden campaign did not comment on the cancellation of Friday's group meeting. Other meetings between Rodriguez and individual leaders of the Arab community in Michigan went forward Friday, according to two sources. The group meeting was among several that Rodriguez was convening with leaders from Michigan, including local elected officials and leaders from the Arab and Palestinian American, Hispanic, and Black communities. The meetings are part of an effort by the White House and Biden reelection campaign to meet with core constituency groups around the country, and the campaign said it will continue to have thoughtful conversations with groups. Turfi said the Biden campaign had requested the meeting with Arab leaders and officials in recent weeks as part of the listening tour. Oh, now they're on a listening tour. I love how they think that this bullshit is going to work. They think all this lingo. What do you think? You're going to trick people into thinking you're not enabling a mass murder of their people? Your fucking bullshit listening tour. That might work on the rich, Chardonnay and Xanax, soccer moms that make up your core donor base and your core voting group. You're not going to trick Arab and Muslim people with that nonsense as you're doing what you're doing. Listening tour. Going on a listening tour.
Well, to be fair, it has worked up to this point, but a genocide just kind of... That's really flipping the table and changing the game.
Yeah, that tends to work amongst people who have no real skin in the game, amongst people for whom the stakes are ultimately pretty low.
Well, if you remember, there was that audio that leaked in 2020 where he had to sit down with, I think it was Latino leaders, and he was talking to them like they're his fucking valets.
Right.
Like he's screaming at them and condescending to them.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow, that was, good call.
So yeah, no, I mean, they have every reason to think they can get away with using these communities as props, but not this time.
No, not this time. Arab leaders from the Muslim and Christian communities had intended to share firsthand the sentiments of the community and estimated that many who supported Biden in 2020 likely won't do so in November, citing 26,000 Palestinians killed in Gaza and thousands of others displaced or facing famine, Turfi said. Unless something drastic happens, you have lost the Arab American and Muslim community. At this point, from what I can see, there's no winning them over. That was the idea of the meeting, Turfi said. Until there's a ceasefire, the overall consensus in the community is they're not welcome here. Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hammoud, Wayne County Commissioner Sam Beydoun, and Democratic State Reps Alabas Farhat of Dearborn and Abraham Ayash of Hamtramck were among those invited to the meeting with Biden's campaign manager. Hammoud, Farhat, and Ayash declined. Farhat said he agreed with the decision to cancel. This pushback is not just about failed policy, it's about humanity, Farhat said. It's unrealistic to expect that political conversations will resecure our support for the president when only a ceasefire can truly reopen that door. Only a ceasefire can truly reopen that door. Ayash, who serves as Michigan's House Majority Floor Leader, said he will not allow our communities to be utilized for political expediency after 110 plus days of U.S.-backed Israeli bombings of Gaza. Good for him. That's what a representative has to do, right? You have to not only go to bat for your people, but you have to protect your people from being used as pawns, from being used as political props. Saying you're not going to come here and take a photo op with our people so that you can spread the message to the world that, hey, look, we had a conversation with the people of Dearborn and Michigan, and we're on, we're listening, right? This is our listening tour. We're here to try and smooth things over, work it out. Because that's how they would have used this, right? They would have taken some photos. It would have been in the press. And he's saying, no. We're not going to let you do that. Where's the beef? Give us the policy or don't come to us, period. We're not even letting you in the door because we're not going to be used in this way. Final slide. Since October 7th, I have received zero correspondence from the White House, the DNC, or MDP, I'm assuming that's Michigan Democratic Party leadership, about the concerns from our community on the ongoing genocide unfolding in Gaza, Ayash said on social media. He added that the lack of outreach to him as Michigan's highest-ranking Arab and Muslim state elected official showed there isn't a legitimate concern or respect for our communities here in Michigan and broadly across the U.S. Hamoud, the Dearborn mayor, tweeted Friday that it's not a moment for electoral politics. When elected officials view the atrocities in Gaza only as an electoral problem, they reduce our indescribable pain into a political calculation, Hamoud wrote. I will not entertain conversations about elections while we watch a live stream genocide backed by our government. That's another great point. The reason they're interested in taking a meeting with you in the first place is because there's a vote coming up in less than a year. Yep. If this were 2021 and this happened, they wouldn't even be going for a meeting with you because they figure, well, we don't need your vote for 3 years anyway, so fuck you. The only reason they're even asking for this meeting is so that they can get some good press heading into a campaign season. And so they're not messing around. They don't sound like they are bluffing. They don't sound like they're going to fold. That would be bad news for Nancy Pelosi, who said, on CNN this morning, well, we trust that at the end of the day, people's pro-choice, pro-LGBT sentiments, people's concerns about gun violence are going to supersede this. Not with these voters. Not with these voters. And if you lose Arab and Muslim voters in these numbers in Michigan, it's extremely difficult to win Michigan. And if you don't win Michigan, it's extremely hard to get to 270 votes. So this is a major problem. And there's no evidence so far to suggest that Biden is on the road to solving it. And good for these people for saying, we're not even going to talk to you. Call for a ceasefire, negotiate a ceasefire, then come to us. Otherwise, we're not even interested.
All right, Putin puppet. That'll be enough of that.
Russell's going to be like, investigate Keaton's finances, not mine.
Investigate Keaton's finances because that guy, man, he's eating a lot of that stuffed crust pizza for a delivery driver.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
No, this feels like in so many ways, a lot of us said when we walked away from the Democratic Party, everyone's going to get here eventually. Right. Eventually, as conditions deteriorate, more and more people are going to get red-pilled. More and more people are going to realize that the Democratic Party is offering you absolutely nothing. They're going to have a shrinking base of the most privileged, superficial people in society who can afford this kind of politics. And as conditions deteriorate, that's going to constitute less and less people. Wait until the AI comes for the PMC motherfuckers. You see how Democrat they are then. That's when they're going to find out they thought they were insiders and they're actually on the catering staff. But I think that's part of what you're seeing with Gen Z. I think you're seeing it with this community. I think you're seeing it with a lot of the black community. You're seeing stunning numbers in the polling particularly from black men, about how they plan on voting in 2024. It's more and more people are getting there. They're getting where a lot of us got. Some of us got in 2016. More of us got there after the outcome of 2020. Hey, if you're never prepared to walk away, you have no leverage. More and more people are realizing this game is just never gonna end. We're always gonna get fucked if we're never prepared to let the other side win. If you're never willing to pay that price, they always are going to ultimately have leverage over you.
Yep. And they can always count on you to cave first. They can count on you to blink first. And even, I mean, just as bad, they will use you to convince others to do the same, which is what these leaders were worried about. They're worried about Joe Biden coming in here on his fucking listening tour. He'll hear them out, what they have to say. He won't act on any of it. But he'll come away with some nice photos to put on his social media. Hey, look, we're listening. We're very concerned with what our Palestinian Americans have to say. And you're every bit as American as everybody else. And we see you, we hear you, blah, blah, blah. So they're concerned. We're not going to give you a political win for nothing. You're going to have to give us what we want first. And so good on them.
Please clap.